Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk to you about And Just Like That, aka Sex and the City. So is there going to be a new season? We don't know. The season number 1 just finished. It had a finale after 10 episodes and there was a lot of open endings. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through the big things. So this is all full of spoilers. If you haven't watched And Just Like That, you can watch it on HBO Max. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. So I'm just gonna summarize and I want to know your opinion. So let me know in the comments what you think, how this is gonna go, if they're gonna do the second season, and how this is gonna go, basically which way. So the first thing is, as we know from the episode number 1, is that Big died. Okay. It was a lot of controversy. He died because of the Peloton. He got a heart attack because he was exercising too much, you can say. But obviously they kind of played it because he was like, smoking and still all that stuff. What happened in the finale, and it actually didn't happen and it should happen, was that Chris Noth got cut out of the show. So when Carrie scatters his ashes in Paris on the bridge, he was supposed to be there. Actually, I believe that they filmed that scene. So he's actually there with her, for real, but obviously it's in her head because she has this lump that goes on and off, so she knows he's with her. And that scene actually happened and was all wrapped up. But there comes, for real life, like the allegations, sexual allegations, sexual assault allegations, and the producer decided to cut out this scene. So they cut him out of the last episode, the finale. So there's no more Big ever again. And just to highlight like why he died, of course, the story wouldn't move forward if he didn't die. So let me know what you think in the comments. Miranda, favorite part for me. Like, she was always the funny one. So now she's a lesbian and she's throwing away her whole career for love, which is so it's not her character at all. And it's great, but it's weird. It's like she's just smiling like so much, and when you compare her character, it's like, who is she? But obviously people change and she got fed up, and especially, like, I have to say, her marriage was a mistake in the first place. Okay, so she's now divorcing, but her marriage was a shambles. It was ridiculous. She's a lawyer and she marries this bartender. Like, it just doesn't go together, and she's like a doer. She needs to do something all the time, and career, and he always wanted to like stay in bed and do nothing, and it's just not gonna work in real life, and we all know that. So if you're in this relationship and you want to get married, this is how you're gonna end up. You're gonna divorce someone and you're gonna turn lesbian. That end of story, okay? She's so bored of her marriage. She's like, oh, Steve, whatever, I don't give a damn about you anymore. You're boring. So she falls in love with Che, which is like the most lovable character. So it's a non-binary comedian played by Sarah Ramirez, that we know. Probably we saw her first time in Grey's Anatomy. So she falls in love with her, and Che is producing her TV show or whatever. So she asked Miranda if she wants to come with her for a couple of months. So now they're leaving for LA, which is so weird for Miranda. But anyway, and the last thing about her is that she dyes her hair back to the original. So she's a redhead again, which really suits you. Like, she looks really good. So yeah. And then, of course, Samantha. Okay, first of all, Kim Cattrall is never ever going back. Okay, the showrunner Michael Patrick King says it's never gonna happen. Kim is saying it's never gonna happen, and she just kept saying it, like, dude, like, I'm 61, or now she's even older, and she's just like, it's not gonna happen, full stop. We had these, messages. She's messaging Carrie, and obviously, like, there's something going on, and I was thinking, like, oh my god, she's gonna appear, but she's not gonna come back. We have to accept it, I think. But I like that they didn't kill her, but they just kept her as like she can message Carrie, so that's fine. And she's living in London. Maybe we're gonna come to London for her funeral in the season 2, but we don't need more deaths. Come on. Speaking of death, like, this is for real, okay? So Stanford, played by actor Willie Garson, actually died for real from pancreatic cancer, and he was written off the series by divorcing Anthony and moving to Tokyo without saying like goodbye or anything, because the actor was really sick, so he couldn't continue, and shortly after, obviously, he passed away. So we wouldn't want to like have another death, like, it's kind of like a drama, but it's like the comedy drama, so if you have too much death, then obviously it's weird. Charlotte got a bar mitzvah, and her daughter is now a boy, so that's I really like this storyline, because Charlotte is so conservative, and the whole series she was always the one, like, the rules and the higher class and the upper class, and she's so conservative, and to have her daughter turn into a boy is just like she cannot handle it. So I think that was like one of the smartest moves, and it almost made me cry. Okay, so obviously Che is moving, so the podcast is done, but then there is a handsome producer, and he offers Carrie to continue with the podcast of her own, and the podcast is called Sex and the City. So now Carrie has her own podcast, and she's taking calls, kind of like a Frasier Crane show. So she's taking calls and she's talking to people. So welcome to 2022. So she says, this is one of almost the last line, or maybe the last line of that episode, and obviously the season is I'm Carrie Bradshaw and this is Sex and the City. I was like, whoa, so that was really cool. And yeah, so we have a lot of open endings, and I really hope there's gonna be another season, because I really enjoyed it, like the whole thing. Obviously it's not called Sex and the City anymore, but everybody knows it's Sex and the City. And obviously, just when you ask like why Samantha is not coming back, because Kim Cattrall, like, if you don't know what happened, is after the show, the original one, the idea was that the showrunner changed, and it became like it was Sarah Jessica Parker's friend, and he made her producer on the show. So she started earning $300,000 more, because obviously she's a producer. And Kim Cattrall, like, she didn't get raised or anything, and that was like that's kind of like the official statement, but Kim Cattrall said that it's not true at all. So it's really interesting, like, I don't know where's the truth, but obviously probably we're never gonna know exactly what happened. But so let me know your thoughts. How do you think this is gonna go? Which way it's gonna turn? What's gonna happen in season 2, if there is any season 2? So yeah, and don't forget to subscribe, because I have more coming.